Today we're going to be talking about the 10 best motorcycles you can get if you're a beginner. That is, most people don't really know what they want in the beginning. They kind of just go, oh, that's a sport bike, I'm just going to get the coolest sport bike. But hopefully this list will explain to you some of the bikes that you should get if you're starting out in motorcycling. So most people just see a style and they really want the style. They'll see like this really cool blue GSX-R 600 and then that's what they want. But that's not really a smart decision to buy a motorcycle that you want as a starting bike. A lot of people choose, bikes that are over 600cc to 1000cc as beginner bikes, and they're fine. But the vast majority of people tend to get smaller starting bikes because they know that it's a small step towards the bike that they want, and they know that they're going to drop this bike. So it's something that you probably don't want to do in the beginning, buy like the shiniest motorcycle out there and then drop it. Top bike for a beginner is the Ninja 250, and not even a newer 250. I really like the older style of Ninja 250 that they made from 88 to I believe 97. It's a great bike. It's not very pretty. It's very boxy and like kind of weird looking. It looks like it's from the 80s, and Kawasaki didn't update it at all until 2008. So this older version of the Ninja 250 is great because for a beginner bike, it could actually go up to 100 miles per hour. It's a 250cc twin cylinder bike, inline twin, and it's very light. The engine's extremely reliable. I like this model of a 2008 because maintenance on this is much easier. First of all, it has a center stand, and as a beginner you might not realize how nice it is to have a center stand, but you can pop the bike onto the center stand and kind of remove the tires, change the oil, so you don't even need a motorcycle stand to prop it up. And so the new bikes only come with a kickstand, and this bike is just reliable and just very simple, like no fancy gimmicks in here. You drop it and you pick it up and you keep riding. It's got a 6-speed transmission. I've ridden one of these from DC to Florida to Georgia. It's a great bike. You would not think a tiny little bike like this would be comfortable, but it really is. Another bike to get is the Suzuki SV650. It straddles the line between beginner and advanced, but it can be ridden very easily. It doesn't like bite you if you twist a throttle. The engine is very torquey, it's manageable. You can quickly learn to ride it. There's no surprises to the bike. You can pick up the 650, without bodywork, and you won't cry if you drop it. You have to repair the plastics. One thing that you learn in motorcycling is that plastics for motorcycles are really expensive. So, it's good to pick a bike when you're beginning that does not have a lot of bodywork. Honda CBR 250. So it's not a bike I really like the styling. I don't really like the styling of a lot of these Honda sport bikes, but it's a little bit of an oddball compared to the Yamaha R3 and the Ninja 300. It's only a single cylinder, which might be something you like. Compared to the 250, it's not as fast, but Honda builds great bikes and it has a really great attention to detail. The bike will be a great bike because it's basically a very small bike. The single cylinder makes it seem like it's a little bit narrower. It's also got very easy characteristics for handling. Another bike I recommend if you're a little bit taller is a KLR 650. It's a 600cc bike. It's not like a super sport 600cc bike. So a dual sport doesn't make the power like the super sport 600cc does. So the only downside that this bike has, it's its tall nature. So if you aren't a tall rider, it's probably not a good bike for you. But if you're like 6 feet tall, you can pretty much flat foot this bike. And it's a thumper, so that is, it's a single cylinder, and it sounds great. A lot of people really like this styling of bike because it's much simpler, only one cylinder as opposed to like 4 for a sport bike. It's got an amazing aftermarket availability, and people just take these to the ends of the world and back. People do like cross-country trips, they ride around the world. It can be equipped with pannier stop boxes. You can sit up. There isn't much of a lean forward, so it's very comfortable. The tires are large, so you can like go over down trees or just hopping the curb onto the sidewalk to your favorite Starbucks. It's very, very good bike. And not only this bike is a good beginner bike, but it's a very good advanced rider bike. The newer Ninja 250s and Ninja 300s that are really great beginner bikes, they have the styling of more aggressive sport bikes, but they're still very good bikes to learn on. The only downside is that they have a lot of plastic to kind of deal with. And most people will sell these after 1 year or 2 year of ownership, so you're not going to need any like major maintenance. But one of the pet peeves that I have is that these bikes require a shim valve adjustment. It's like shim over the bucket or whatever it's called, but I don't like it. I like the older style of like twisting a nut to adjust the valves of the engine. So that's something that I prefer with the old ones, but this new Ninja 250 holds the valves much longer, so it's not much of an issue. I had a 2008 and I bought it brand new, and I put 77,000 miles on this 2008 Ninja 250. So I really like these bikes quite a bit. And I rode it all over the place, and it was super reliable, never left me stranded. So and the tires are 17 inches, so you can get rubber anywhere. You know, it's very cheap to run too. They don't wear out chains or sprockets as much as a real strong sport bike. These bikes can really keep up with 600cc sport bikes in twisty roads that aren't very straight. But once the road opens up, these bikes struggle to keep up with them, which is of course understandable. In most conditions, I found that riding a 250cc bike can keep up with most riders. So you have to realize that you really have to use all this power and learn to shift and be on the power band most of the time. It's not really for a lazy rider who likes to put it in fourth gear and just like cruise around.